What is up, you guys? JP TV 3000, same YouTube channel as always. This right here is our oil pump. You have a filter to filter out any contaminants for it, and we use these for fueling up the frac pumps and the twin. My bad, not fueling, but refilling the oil. So we're gonna go look at this monstrosity of a piece of equipment. Right here, you got your hydraulic oil. Make sure that that's full. As you can currently see, it's about close to half. So that needs to be topped off before going back out to work. Up there at the top, see this ladder? Well, steps. You go up here, climb all the way up, and up there on the top, there's your radiator cap. Also, you have a sight glass. That's your sight glass, so you can see how much is in there. They may have done some work on the radiator, which is probably why there's no coolant in the sight glass, or it may be stopped up or something. Anyway, this is a structure. I think this is a manifold connection for if you wanted to fuel this up. So if you wanted to fuel this up through an automated system, I think you would hook into here. Anyway, your fuel filters, make sure y'all keep track of those. Remember when they were put on. Make sure you're always right on here. Hopefully they're doing everything at one time. Always right on here when it was put on and the hours, as you can see. And really important, you see this drive shaft in here? Make sure you grease this drive shaft. Now, I can tell you right now, there should be grease in here unless they just really washed it. And the only person that would do something like that would be the pump operator. Because a pump operator that really takes care of his stuff when it comes to washing it, he's really going to take his time and go through and wash this stuff. As you can see, there's 2 greasers right there. There should be 2 more off in here. Make sure you grease those. Check for any leaks, any suspicious noises. Also, there's like a belt or something in here that has to be replaced. So if you hear any funny noises, remember to keep track of that stuff. Remember the stooges I was talking about from the oiler? That's where you hook it up to right here. You fill this up. This is your packing lube reservoir, and then it gets pumped into your packing. This is your control, your trailer control box. Off, preheat, auto work, controls for local, remote. Local, you're going to control it here. Remote, you're going to control it with the control box. Okay, somebody obviously left something in here and that drive shaft tore it out. That's exactly what that is. You can see it's even bent out from the inside. So, oh yeah. Don't put stuff in here and leave it. Don't put stuff in here and leave it. Don't put stuff in here and leave it. That's why this is tore up like that. When you use it, you turn the drive shaft, make sure you take it back out. Don't use the belt oil filter wrench. Don't use that. Because I'm not pointing any names at anybody, but somebody left it in there. We swapped out. We came into work, and we finished rigging up. Go over there to go turn on the frac pump or something. And I hear this blah, 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 blah. What the hell is that? I stopped it, and I didn't hear it. Turned the frac pump on again, blah, 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 blah. And then it went away. And then, like, okay. And we had the pressure test at the time. Anyway, let me finish talking about this stuff if I better forgot something. Emergency shutdown. You have no reason hitting that unless it is an emergency, literally. This is your E-cable. This is your connection for your E-cable. Use electrical parts cleaner or brake clean, whichever one you have, preferably electrical parts cleaner. Make sure you keep track of this stuff. There'll also be indicators, gauges for this. Should be on here, and they should be on the control box. This is a high pressure Kelly hose. SPM power end. Be nice to have these, but these things are a challenge to move because they can be heavy. Well, I'm not gonna say they can be, they are heavy. You got a box for keeping your tools and stuff in. Power in, fluid in. The yellow thing right there in the middle, your C clamps. Focus. Your C clamps, your power in plug. Man, stop. Focus. Power in plunger, fluid in plunger. I forget what they call these. Head retaining bolts or something. Anyway. Okay, this is a Vulcan. I don't think I've ever worked on. I don't think I've ever worked on any of these before. But I see this right here is your suction side. This is where you hook in your water hoses, the inlet. From wherever you're getting pressurized water from, you hook it into there. This is your work platform. You actually pull this out, and then you take your pin out and the ladder falls down. This is the other end of your suction manifold. As you can see, it's all bolted on. I think there's gaskets in here, but don't quote me on that. It may be one big gasket or individual gaskets for each pod. Up there you have your transducer. That transducer cable reads pressure. You have a valve so that you can bleed off if you have to do some work on here or whatever. I don't see a suction. Well, I guess they don't have one for suction. This is your power end lube. Make sure this thing is full. If you see any power end leaking or you see anything leaking out of the ordinary, keep track of it. Let's see. Yeah, power end lube coming up, going to the pump. This is the feed going in, and then being out, supplied it going to the other side. Yep, going to the other side. There's your other line coming over this way. Your transducer for your power in pressure is probably that one. And then your rotating is right there. Your I forget what they call it. Your rate, so you can tell your rate. That's what that is. Let's see. Your oil, your dipstick. Also, you see this right here? This is on here for a reason. Not only that, these caps are on here for a reason. Make sure nothing hits that. Some of these have racks for putting hoses on. Some of them do, some of them don't. Other than that, I think that is pretty much it. Tell y'all about most of the stuff related to this. Mechanics will be changing it, unless something happens on location and y'all end up doing it. I don't know if I even have any videos of me taking this stuff apart, because when we're taking this apart, it's take it apart, get it done, so we go do other stuff. But I already talked to y'all about the draft shaft, didn't I? About not putting stuff in here. Don't use that belt filter wrench. Don't use that, because somebody left one in there, and I think I already showed y'all on the other side the damage that it did. That's what happens when you leave something off in there. You can see it's bent out. You can do a lot of damage by forgetting stuff, leaving stuff on that's not supposed to be on. Also, when you crank this PTO up, this is a hydraulic driven starter. So that's how you're gonna start this thing. Hydraulics coming from the PTO of the tractor. Underneath there, there's a switch inside. Kick the PTO in. Some of them are clutch in to stop the transmission from spinning, and then you turn the PTO button on. Some of them, like the automatics, you can just turn the PTO button on and then idle it up. Idle up to about 1500, and then you can start this up. The difference is I've never run this one, so I have no idea, but I know most of the stuff is pretty much the same stuff, just maybe labeled different or in different places. Gonna go look at this other frac pump.